Hello YouTube and welcome back. Today I just wanted to make a quick video showing off an interesting solution I had to a problem. I've had these speaker strobes. This is the newer, easy to install system sensor type, and it uses this plug-in style mounting bracket. As you can see, you do your wiring here, you have your terminals, and then these little contacts will push onto these on the back, and then that's how this unit receives power. But in other words, what that also means is that if you don't have a mounting bracket, this unit is completely useless. You can't mount it and you can't wire it. It's basically just very expensive e-waste. And it just so happens that I'm the lucky type of guy to get two of these with no mounting brackets. I paid for them and they just did not come with mounting brackets, which is a little bit unfortunate. You can see, obviously it's a different color, but it's the exact same unit and it is missing the bracket. It has these contacts on the back, and I felt like it was really wasteful to just buy new ones or get rid of these. So obviously I was going to come up with a solution to mount these. Using some resources, I was able to make the bracket on CAD. So this right here is the original mounting bracket. What I did is I took a picture of it and then I kind of scanned it and I put it into Fusion. And what I did is I made a mounting bracket. This is the first version I made. You can see it's definitely kind of similar looking. I mean, let me move this out of the way. It's similar looking. You can see the resemblance for sure. You can see we have the keyhole slots. You can see there's like the hooky part where it gets onto the top of the unit here. And the main issue with these is it's very difficult to get something that mechanically fixes to something but also makes an electrical connection, because that's the challenging part. So what I did is I used this. So this is some welding wire that I just had lying around at school. What I did is I just bent it in this way. The reason I had to bend it so far out is so that way it actually has like the springiness of a real contact, because obviously if I just stick a piece of wire up kind of like this one right here, it's not going to be springy at all, or it's going to be very limited in mobility. This unit or this bracket was not great. You can see I had to grind off a bunch of it with like a sanding thing or a belt sander, because since I scanned it and that's how I CAD'd it, the dimensions were not exact. But that's how that is. Everything else kind of works. This bracket, believe it or not, does work. If I were to hook this up to the back and screw it in, it does make electrical contact. Of course, it's not code compliant at all, but at least it works. But I thought I could definitely do better than that. So here's a raw version without any electrical stuff on it. This was just another prototype. So in this case, you can see it's basically the same thing. I mean, we have the keyhole slots. I added these snap things here because obviously the way this unit clicks onto the bracket is there's these little tabs right here, and that kind of just latches into the unit. Obviously it doesn't really work. It doesn't even work on the original mounting bracket. It's kind of a poor original design, but that's how this is. And you can also see that we have this little hole here. I centered it a little more, and it does thread in perfectly fine. Obviously it probably strips out, but that's, I guess, kind of one of the downsides of using 3D printing. So here's the final product. This is what I used. Obviously the original design was pigtails, which pigtails are pretty bad because, especially since these are supposed to be kind of compact, they need to fit into like a 4x4 box. So adding pigtails is really annoying. This right here is my finished electrical contacts. Again, they do look kind of janky. This almost looks like a ground fault waiting to happen, which in ways it is, especially if I was planning to use this in a real building, which I'm not. But you can see I used the same welding wire, but I glued it in with hot glue. It actually sticks really well because the hot glue was so hot that it kind of fused itself to the 3D printing material. It actually like welded itself on, if that makes any sense. But you can see we have these little contacts. They actually do work really well. This does make electrical contact, and then the connectors are really what kind of makes this work. So I had these just pins sticking out, and originally I was going to use Wagos, but Wagos are too thick for this kind of thing. So this right here, these are like spring contact type things. You like push this down and then you can stick wires in it. So that's what I did with the other end, and this actually does work really well. Let me get a box and I'll show you. So here's the type of box you'd be mounting one of these to. So of course it has these keyhole slots, so you would install it like that. And what this does is this allows these contacts here to just be at the bottom of the box. Now my concern is that this is like literally just bare metal, so it might touch the box. That was my original concern, but since these plastic things are so thick, it's not really even a possibility, as you can see. Although I would still be a little wary of that. I have another unit where I kind of trimmed it down a little more, but this allows these to like be pulled up in the event it needs to be. But I definitely want to work on insulating that a little more. I might put heat shrink or something on there, just to get a little more peace of mind. But in general, I think this is definitely better than pigtails, at least, because this doesn't take up that much room in the box and you basically get terminals. So that's that.